So number 8, we're going to solve this. We know we're looking for 2 solutions because it's a quadratic. It's always best to keep this number positive. So instead of moving this over here, we could, in theory, move this over here and make that a negative 24x squared. And that may seem like the easier path, but then you have a negative, and they're just a little bit more difficult to work with. So what would be better would be to move this over here. So it'd be like subtracting x from both sides. If you move something to the other side, it changes signs. And then also moving this over here. It was a positive 3, becomes a negative 3. So now we get 0 is equal to 24 x squared minus x minus 3. Now looking at this, this has a 1. So the biggest number that goes into 1 is 1. So there's no coefficient I can factor out. And they all don't have an x, so I can't factor out an x either. So I'm going to need to take and use a skill we learned last week that says you take this number times that number and put that here. So 24 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1, 7. That's 72. So I need 2 numbers that multiply to 72, but add to negative 1. In order to get to 1, the numbers must be 1 apart. So when I'm thinking about 72, I know 72 is 9 times 8. Nine times 8 is 72. If I make this a negative 9, I get negative 72, which, looking at that, that's what that should be. 24 times negative 3 is negative 72. So I'm trying to get negative 72. So if I make 9 negative, negative 9 times 8 is negative 72. You add those, you get negative 1. So I get negative 9 and 8. So from there I put x with the 9, x minus 9, x with the 8, and just like before, whatever number this is, you divide them both by that number. And then you try to reduce 9 over 24. Let's go see what that is. 9 divided by 24 is 3/8. So I get x minus 3/8. And remember, the 8 slides to the front, and I'll put it over here. You're going to get 8x minus 3. So all I did was I put this over here. I ran out of room. 8 over 24 reduces to a third. get x plus a third, and this time the 3 slides to the front. You get 3x plus 1. So now I can use the zero product property. And the zero product property says, in order for this to multiply and get 0, either 8x minus 3 is 0, or 3x plus 1 is 0. And I've been doing these a long time, so I could do this in my head. It's always the opposite of this divided by that. So this is going to be x equals 3/8. Opposite of this divided by this, x equals negative 1/3. But I'll show you the work. So I set this equal to 0. Add 3 to both sides. Get 8x equals 3. Divide by 8. And that's how you get x equals 3/8. On the other one, you have 3x plus 1 equals 0. You subtract 1. And then divide by 3. And you get x equals negative 1/3. So my final two answers are x equals 3/8 or x equals negative 1/3. So what that means is if I was to plug 3/8 or negative 1/3 back into this original equation, I would get the same thing on both sides. So also if I type this in, I can see one solution is negative 0.33, that's negative 1/3. One solution is 0.375, that would be 3/8. If I take 3 divided by 8, I get 0.375.